If you use images in your content, it is important that you provide alternatives to those images in the form of text that can be read by screen reading software. This is called alternative text, or alt text. Let me show you how alt text works with an example that is close to my heart. Here is a picture of a guitar that I own. I love this guitar. It is beautiful. I want to share my love of this guitar with the world, but the way I've made this page will leave people who are blind and who use screen reading software out in the cold. Let me demonstrate with VoiceOver, the screen reader that comes with Mac OS. The first thing VoiceOver will do upon loading is read the page title.
VoiceOver on Safari, Text Alternatives, Non-Example, RCE Examples window.
I'm going to start by navigating to the main part of the page using a keyboard shortcut.
Heading Level 1, Text Alternatives, Non-Example.
Then, I'll navigate through the page line by line. Listen to what happens when I get to the picture of my guitar.
Heading Level 2, Ibanez, AFS80T, Hollow Body Electric Guitar, Blue.png image.
It just says blue.png. A blue what? I don't know. I guess, given the context, I could assume that it was a blue guitar, but maybe it is someone playing the blues, or feeling blue. Heck, it could be a blue potato for all I know from what the screen reader said. As someone who loves this guitar, I find this deeply unsatisfying. I'm going to turn off the screen reader so we can see where this offending text blue.png is coming from.
VoiceOver off.
To see the source of the alt text, we click the Edit button to bring up Canvas's rich content editor. Click on the picture of the guitar, and click the Embed Image button. There, under Attributes, we find a field called Alt Text, which contains the text that was spoken by our screen reader. Now, by default, anytime you select an image to add to the rich content editor, it will use the file name as the alt text, which is almost never what we want. I could change the alt text to something meaningful right here by altering the text in the field and clicking the Update button. But I want to demonstrate how the Check Accessibility wizard in Canvas's rich content editor will find accessibility issues for you and help you fix them. To do this, I'm going to close the Insert Edit Image dialog, and in the Rich Content Editor toolbar, click the Check Accessibility button. The Check Accessibility drawer slides in from the side, and it identifies two accessibility issues on the page. The first issue that it points out is that there is an image that has its alt text set to the image file name. It highlights that image on the page, my lovely guitar, oh no, and provides a field labeled Change Alt Text where I can set the alternative text to something more descriptive. In this case, blue hollow body electric guitar with a white racing stripe. This text is what will now be voiced when a screen reader comes across this image. Much better. Now, when I click the Apply button to apply this new alt text, it tells me I have only one issue left, which is another case of an image whose alt text is just the file name. In this case, that image is just a gradient line located below the Overview heading. Now, we could provide alt text here that reads something like gradient line, but really, that line isn't communicating anything meaningful. It would be better if it was just ignored completely by the screen reader. We could try to accomplish this by deleting all of the text from the field, but if we do this, and click the Apply button, it just gives us a new error saying that images should include an alt attribute describing the image content. To make it so that the image is completely ignored by a screen reader, we need to take an additional step by clicking the Decorative Image checkbox. We could accomplish the same thing in the Insert Edit Image dialog by clicking the Decorative Image checkbox there. Doing it either way will make it so nothing is read when the screen reader encounters that image. Now, providing meaningful alt text, or marking images as decorative as the case may be, doesn't just benefit people who use screen reading software. It can also be useful in situations where bandwidth is limited. For instance, maybe there is severe network congestion that has slowed the loading of web pages to a crawl, preventing images from loading. Or maybe your students are using way more data than usual on their phones and have exceeded their monthly cap, so they've turned off images in their browser. If you provide meaningful alt text, then when images are unavailable, the alt text is displayed. Let me demonstrate with the fixed version of the page. Using the Web Developer extension, we can see what this will look like by clicking the Web Developer icon button in the browser and choosing Disable Images under the Images tab. Notice that where the guitar was, we see instead the alt text we provided. And where we had indicated that the gradient line was decorative, we see nothing. Great! Now we have a page that all users can perceive and understand as intended, and which is robust in the face of limited bandwidth.